Lee Grossman, Tassos Kirkos, Chicago Hockey Radio postgame show. Look, brother, I don't know. I didn't actually think. Look, no, I know that didn't come out well, but I actually didn't think that was as bad of a game as. I don't know. Like, it seems like the chat right now is a little.
I know, chat's down.
Chat's
chat
down right
depressed.
now.
Chat. This is a team that, unlike Seattle, this team is better than us, and they're hungry for a playoff spot. Need the points. You got outplayed by a team with more talent than you. I don't know. It was like, it's depressing in the sense that it's, what was that, 7 in a row now that we've lost, and like, it just feels like we're not in any of these games anymore. We're just like always the worst team out on the ice.
Longest losing streak of the season now, I should say.
It's painful, but it's like we're almost there. We're almost out of it. We're almost in the clear. Yeah, dude. I mean, I don't like. We can't score. We can't score on the. We outshot them. I think we might have had more opportunities than they did. It was just like we can't score, and we don't have that high end offensive talent, unfortunately.
Yeah, the Blues just have a few more finishers on their team than the Hawks do, and I didn't even think it was really like the.
It wasn't their top dogs that killed us. We got killed by Walker and Bulldog today.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like Jake Neighbors and fucking. And Robert Thomas and Jordan Kyrou were just like absolutely dominating these young players. It was like their depth guys just being better than us.
Yeah. Subscribe to this YouTube channel, please. If you're new here, if this is your first time listening to any Chicago Hockey Radio content, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell, hit the thumbs up on this video too. If you're watching right now, helps us out a lot. Follow us on Instagram at Chicago Hockey Radio and leave a 5-star rating and review on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. You want to do Blues talk? Just like get it out of the way first.
Should we start with Pat Maroon talk?
Oh, yeah. No, you're right. Before we do Blues talk, Pat Maroon talk is definitely more worthwhile. So Pat Maroon announces before the game, he's talking to Darren Pang that he plans on retiring after this season. Sorensen starts him in his last game in St. Louis against his hometown team. You know, won a Stanley Cup there, scored the double overtime Game 7 winner in the second round the year they won the Cup, 2019. And this was interesting. They brought it up over the broadcast a couple of times. 95 fights, or 96 actually after today. 96 fights in the NHL since 2012, most in the league. So, you know, just a guy that like did it the hard way. I know we've like given Pat Maroon some slander over this season, but you know, this is really a guy that like was never supposed to play in the NHL, and you know, was a big like roller hockey guy, and you know, a little bit on like the heavier side of things, and you know, just like going from Anaheim to Edmonton and then, you know, landing in St. Louis and winning a cup there and then winning the next 2 Stanley Cups with the Tampa Bay Lightning. Just like a guy that like did it the right way the whole time and was a big pro about it. And yeah, I kudos to him. Like they really did well by him. Too bad the Hawks like couldn't actually like, you know, win the hockey game for him. But yeah, right. I saw they named him the first star of the game too after the game. So that's cool. It's just he got a good reception. I don't know what you want to add there.
Yeah, I just like honestly is it not to completely echo a lot of what you said, but a sick career for, like, as you pointed out, probably shouldn't have made it to the NHL, but found a way. And like, it's a perfect model for like young players that are trying to come into the league. It's like, look at this guy. He did whatever he had to. He literally did whatever he had to on any team he was on. And he found success, won 3 Stanley Cups. And, you know, as you mentioned, we have slandered him a bit on the show, but he's just old and slow now. He like, obviously it seems like the coolest, nicest, best dude ever. And all the content that the Blackhawks team posts, it's like, always Pat Maroon, like firing the boys up, and seems like all the young players really like him a lot. So I think that is a testament to his character. And yeah, I mean, dare I say, legendary career. 3 Stanley Cups is no joke. So shout out to Patty Maroon.
I don't know how many active players right now have 3 Stanley Cups. Like Patrick Kane, I guess his teammate Alec Martinez, right? Martinez was there for both of them for the Kings.
Martinez just has 2.
And then he won one with Vegas, though.
Oh, he did win the one with Vegas.
Yeah, so
yes,
he's got 3, you know, like
definitely.
Crosby, Malkin, Letang, you know, Patty Kane. But like, I don't know how many active guys have 3 rings. Like that's pretty impressive. That is definitely
Absolutely.
that is definitely something that like not a lot of guys can say. And you know, you're Pat Maroon. You're a 3-time champ. Like nobody can ever.
You can't say shit to Pat Maroon.
Yeah,
He won 3
never.
cups. Yeah.
Fleury also has 3 rings. Yes, yes. But yeah, not a lot of guys have 3 Stanley Cup rings. So just a ton of fun. You know, when I say things like there's issues in the Blackhawks locker room and you know there's like culture problems that need to be fixed. He's not really the guy I'm talking about. You know, so good on him. Good on him.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I don't know. So okay, we can get into the game. We'll do Blues talk later on, but yeah, I mean, like I said, I thought it was pretty even. Like the scoring chances were even. Blues just like they bared down on more of their opportunities, and you know, first period ends 0-0. We could talk about the biggest thing that happened in the first period was the neighbors hit on Martinez. Yeah, and Dickinson steps in there. You know, they drop the mitts. Dickinson gets the extra 2 minutes for instigating, and there's no
insane.
That was the biggest like refs talk moment of the last.
There were
like,
a couple.
Yeah, fair enough. But that was like for me, that was the biggest one of like you didn't get eyes on what happened there with Martinez, and then you know you give Dickinson the extra 2. I thought that was pretty wild to me, but I don't know.
Dude, yeah, it was a bad hit. Like I think there should have been a penalty there for sure. And then Dickinson, I think, got injured like at the start of the fight because while he was fighting him, you could tell that he like I thought he was gassed at first because he was like not trying to throw his right hand at all. He was like wincing. And so I think he maybe got hurt like right before, like right when it happened, because then he missed, he had, the 10 minutes and then he missed the rest of the game. So we didn't see him for the rest of the game. So realistically, we played in over 2 periods of hockey with a forward missing and a defenseman missing. So like, second period, once I realized and we found out that Dickinson probably wasn't returning either, I was like, yeah, this is probably not going to turn out well. Just because you're just shuffling every time you're sending guys out onto the ice, you're shuffling lines, and I think this team has shown all year that they don't do well when you scramble their lines frequently. So weren't able to bounce back from that. But I do appreciate Dickinson dropping the gloves, standing up for
It's an aware
Martinez.
play. It's an aware play, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Hopefully both those guys are okay. But yeah, that was rough for Martinez. Just seeing him like stumble trying to get off the ice. Like that's obvious concussion,
He was down for a while.
Yeah. So scary stuff, especially a guy like that who's like nearing the end of his career. You don't want to see him like getting banged up like that and having injuries that affects the rest of your life and stuff. So just scary moment. Hope he's okay.
Yeah. Him and Dickinson, Dickinson didn't play after the fight. So, yeah, just banged up. Like those guys have had like a really rough go of it this year with injuries, and it's part of the game. But like, when it happens like that, you just like can't help but wince a little bit. And, it's tough to watch. Second period started out much of the same for the first like 10 minutes or so. And then the Blues break it open. Thomas gets the first one. Toropchenko gets the second one. Kind of bang plays, 2 minutes and 7 seconds apart. So Hawks trend continues of, not being able to get the next one after or stop another one from going in after, the other team scores. It's just, I don't know, man.
This team just doesn't have a lot of finish, to be honest. Like there's no like goal scorers on this team. Like Mikheyev, before the shorthanded goal, Mikheyev had a really good opportunity right in front of the net that he wasn't able to put away. Frank Nazar had one too that he put right into the post that I thought he had like a wide open net on. It's like one of those things where you go half the game basically, there's no goals, Soderblom was playing well to start that game. It's like you got to find a way to put one in the back of the net, and this team's
Hmm.
just repeatedly over and over again not able to do that. So there's another case of that today, I think, where it's like you go this long without giving up a goal, you have to score, or else they're going to start coming, right, for St. Louis.
Hawks have played a few games like that. I feel like the last few weeks, like where it's scoreless for a while, and then it's like, all right, you didn't get one. Like, was it the Colorado game when they had the 5-on-3 that it was like, okay, like you got to score here, otherwise you're gonna lose this hockey game. Like, the Hawks didn't have a glorious chance like that, but it's like, man, you put one in the net first, it's a totally different story the rest of the way, and then but then you blink and you're down 2-0, and you're like, oh, okay, the wind's taken out of the sails.
Yeah, and then we've also seen then once they get scored on a couple times, like, and the momentum's not going their way. Like after St. Louis scored that third goal, it was over. Just because like the body language, the morale on the team, they're just like the heads are down. They're not like playing with the same type of energy. And it just feels like it's already gotten away from you, which sucks. Like you shouldn't feel like the game's over if you're just down 2 goals. It's supposed to be the most dangerous lead in hockey,
Mm-hmm.
not the let's wrap it up and get back on the flight, you know? I don't know. It's like habits like that where you got to feel like you're always in the game. But I guess that's just a product of this team having so little talent. Is that like how do you still feel like you're in the game when you're down 2?
Yeah. The only other ref talk moment I had was
Ryan
the
Donato.
Ryan Donato on the breakaway, and Cam Fowler comes in, slashes the stick out of his hands, and then
Crazy,
dude,
dude.
Donato is irate after that one.
And dude, it sucks because these guys, like, we've been seeing so much of it the past like couple weeks. It's been amplified. I don't know why it's been happening so much more the past couple weeks, but it's like we don't have a coach that's gonna let these refs hear it. Like you need a coach that's going to give the refs an earful when they miss a call, because then your players don't, like, it takes the pressure off the players. They don't have to be the ones that are complaining all the time, because that's the job of the coach. Like if someone's going to get thrown out of the game, you want it to be your coach. And Anders Sorensen is probably just sitting back there happy as a clam just because he made it to the show. And so that's all there is to it. He doesn't, he doesn't need to raise his voice. It's just frustrating. It's like, if you had a bench boss that would be screaming, you're not going to see these guys breaking their sticks and throwing helmets in the hallway and getting 10-minute misconducts for chirping the refs. It's like so much of that is on the coach. And as far as that penalties or lack thereof specifically, the one we saw at the game on Levshinov against LA the other night, that was less of a penalty than the one on Donato today, I feel. I don't know if you agree with
Which
that.
one?
The Levshinov penalty against LA felt like less of a call than this. Like he was in on a breakaway and this guy slashes his stick like right up by his hands. Like I don't know. Just the Blackhawks have not gotten calls all year, it feels like. And I think it's like a two or threefold problem. Like you don't have the, super talented older players that have been in the league for a while who have like earned their calls. The Hawks have none of that, so they're not going to get any like softies from the refs.
Yep.
And then also the coach thing. You don't have a coach that's like sticking up for his players and yelling at these refs. I know like coaches don't actually keep referees accountable, but there definitely is an aspect of the game that like you want the boss being the one talking to the referees.
Yeah, I agree. Or at least like Foligno saying something. I don't know if he did or not, but
yeah. I think I saw him talking to them, I think, after the Martinez hit. But yeah, I mean, just a couple of really, honestly, egregious bad calls. The only reason why I'm not super fired up about it right now is just because, like, we weren't good enough to win that game, I think, regardless of penalties being called. But, like, if that was a close game, I'd be really pissed because I think those were two, like, completely mismanaged situations. So, there's Ref Talk brought to you by CHR.
Yeah. I have a Levshinov point.
Okay.
He really wants to score. He really wants to shoot one into the net.
Yeah, which I think is a good thing. Like I like seeing that from him. There were a couple plays today that were like, oh, like maybe you can get away with that one in the AHL, but chill out.
Mm-hmm.
I think something that I've noticed that he does really, really well is when he's retreating behind his own net to get a puck and he's got like four checkers coming at him. He's so good at checking his shoulder and like finding whatever the simplest, like safest play is in those situations.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's like a really good thing to be able to do now since he's so young. Like
Mm-hmm.
that's something, if he can do it already, he's going to be doing it his entire career. So it's like small stuff that he does like that are like really positive signs. But then yeah, I think he's definitely sometimes a little too eager to get up in the rush almost. Like
Mm-hmm.
he'll just fly up there and then the Hawks will turn the puck over because we happen to do that a lot in the neutral zone. And then he'll be like way too far up the ice and he's got to like haul ass to get back. But hasn't really gotten like punished from any of it yet, I don't think.
There was one play too. I mean, like, no, I agree with you. Levshanov has been excellent for me. Like, he's been the best Hawks defenseman since he's been called up. I don't think that's a stretch to say. He's the only guy that can really break the puck out on this team,
Yeah.
or at least do it with like any sort of consistency. But like, I don't even think it's a stretch to say he's the only guy that can break the puck out. He did have one dangerous one in the third period where he just takes it right through the crease. And I'm just like, dude, one day, it didn't bite you today, but one day that's going to
Yeah.
end up like somebody's just going to poke it and it's going to go right through the goalie. And, you know, maybe it happens once or twice in his whole NHL career and you get away with it the rest of the time. But like, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, that's one hopefully that like somebody's mentioning to him so that he doesn't have to learn it the hard way in like another game or two, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
Mm-hmm.
hey, buddy, don't do that. It's like take it up the boards if you've got to. Don't do that. Um,
Blues
I
talk.
yeah, we can do blues talk. I just like I did have a joke saved. I was going to mention that I think Darren Pang's grandchildren were on the broadcast more than Joe Villano tonight. I think I noticed Pang's grandchildren more than Villano. That guy's just a cardio merchant. Yeah, but let's do blues talk for sure.
I mean, they needed those 2 points like
Absolutely.
really badly. And, you know, Vancouver loses today to the New York Rangers. Calgary's tied right now at 2, I think. They were the last time I checked.
Yeah,
Let me check
it's
again.
2-2, 14 left in the third.
Yeah, like, I mean, this is like it's scoreboard watching time around the NHL right now. Like you're looking at other games. You need other teams to lose and win. Yeah, and honestly, like it's so funny. Like the year they won the Stanley Cup, Doug Armstrong was like, "We're selling. We're getting rid of everybody. We're gonna send Jay Bouwmeester down to the American Hockey League. We're gonna, you know, do all these different things." And you know, they were in last place at the time, and they ended up like rallying to win the Stanley Cup. You know, this year it's like there's Braden Shen trade rumors. There's Colton Parayko trade rumors. Even there's, you know, all of these different things out there about the Blues, and he doesn't move off from anybody. And you know, now they look really good. Like they look good, dude. Like they look like a way better hockey team, honestly, than like Calgary or Vancouver does right now. Like they deserve it way more than either of those two teams, in my opinion.
A lot of parallels between this and the Stanley Cup team. You think they got enough to get it done this
No,
year?
I'm just saying. I think it's funny that you know they. I mean, you never know, dude. Maybe, but
I think you know. I think this year
I
you
think we
know that
know.
this team is not. Yeah, I don't think Sean Walker's pushing that team over the line this year.
You mean Nathan Walker,
Yeah, who's Sean Walker?
defenseman for the LA Kings?
Yeah, I don't know. Just like they're not good enough anywhere. I don't think their depth is good enough. I don't think their top line players are good enough to win a Stanley Cup. The goaltending has been kind of questionable. Their blue line is like honestly decent, but they're
Old.
also old. Yeah. It's an old blue line. And like I don't think you're winning a Stanley Cup with Ryan Suter starting in 2025.
Yeah, no, I don't know. Me neither. No, I'm not saying they're cup contenders, but like in the race for mid, like they're leading the pack right now, and it's like not even close for me. In the battle of mid, it's not even close. Zach Bolduc is a good young player for them. Like that kid shoots it in the net. You think he's got like 14 now. That's a first round pick for them. Like you need those kids to develop. And I think this is kind of interesting. Like if you ask NHL players, like elite NHL players, who their favorite player in the NHL is, a lot of them say Nikita Kucherov, right? I think Robert Thomas is like also in that group of like your favorite player's favorite player kind of deal.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know if he's
I think he is. Like I hear a lot of players talk about like, oh, who do you like to watch? And it's like Robert Thomas.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've heard that as much, but I do like his game. He's the type of player that you like win a Stanley Cup with that.
Yeah.
Like that's a guy. I don't think he's quite there yet. I think because he's only what, like 26. I don't think he's that old.
I'll get it for you right here.
I think he's
25.
Yeah, dude. Oh gosh, yeah. So like I think he will get to that level, but I mean that's like the attributes you want in your 1C to win a Stanley Cup. Like especially if you look at like the 2010s and like all the teams that have had success over the past decade and a half, like they all have that really good two-way creative 1C.
Mm-hmm.
And so Robert Thomas definitely is that.
Yeah, he's a dog. He was 86 points last year. He's 2 points off point per game pace this year. Like he's good, man.
Yeah, he'd be leading the team in points if he didn't miss games this year.
Yeah. And somebody said in the chat too, he would be more of a national talking point if he were on a different team too.
Yeah, I think so. I think if they were a contender, people would be like, maybe not quite Sasha Barkov level, but like close to that kind of conversation.
Yeah. No, like Sasha Barkov light. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Sasha Barkov is like who he should try to be in like 2-3 years.
Like the Temu version of Sasha Barkov.
Yeah, he's Sasha Barkov at home.
He's Sasha Barkov at home. Oh yeah, Ilya Mikheyev did shoot one in the net. I forgot about that a little bit. I don't care. Do you care? No.
I mean, it was a nice move. Our penalty kill is really good. We should have had another one right before the period ended. Nazar made an awesome play defensively to like force the puck out, and then he got a pass to Slaggert for a wide open breakaway, and he wasn't able to put it in the back of the net. But our penalty kill and our power play have been pretty good all year. I wish we got a power play today. That would have been nice to see, maybe. Yeah, man. I mean, if Slaggert's able to put that one home, you go into the third 2-2, it's a different game. I don't know if we would have won still, just because I just don't think this team has a whole lot in the tank. But you never know. That's a completely different game if you go in level after scoring 2 shorthanded goals, you know?
Landon Slaggert needs to spend the summer with Connor Bedard just learning how to handle the puck.
Yeah, I think I think his hands can get a little bit better.
Skills coach? Time to invest in a skills coach.
I love the way he played. I thought Frank Nazar, though, was the best player on the Blackhawks today by far. Just so many noticeable plays. Anytime he doesn't have the puck, it's like when he's most dangerous, because I just feel like he forces turnovers all the time. He's got that speed that he can just close in on guys. He can close that gap so quickly. And so he's such a threat on that PK, because like if you mishandle a puck and you start going the other way, you got to start checking your shoulder, because this guy's way faster than you and he will fly by you. So I'd love to see him and maybe more of him and like Mikheyev together on the PK. And then we talked about it. We don't know. Maybe it would have happened today if we got one. But I think Frank Nazar needs to be on the first power play unit, just for like the zone entries. And he's like, besides 98, he's the most creative player on this team, I'd argue, at least. I don't know if you disagree with that. Do you think Nazar's the second most creative on the team behind Bedard?
I mean, yeah, obviously. I'm just looking right now at like the ice time today. Like the ice time today was a little weird. I have to like Nazar only got 14 minutes and 41 seconds. And
really strange.
Connor Bedard, I don't remember the last time Connor Bedard was under 20 minutes in a game, but 17 minutes and 17 seconds for 98 tonight.
What's Anders Sorensen like thinking? Like, what's he trying to do?
I don't know. Especially when you're down to 11-4. Like, I don't know, man.
Yeah. I guess everything was kind of just like really spread. Like he kind of just let everyone play today a little bit. That fourth line, I guess, only had like 10-ish minutes. But yeah, dude, I don't know. I don't know what I can offer as far as ice time talk. It's like, yeah, I'd prefer to see Nazar and Bedard playing like 20 minutes a game, obviously.
At least like
Uh,
get him up to 18, 19 minutes.
yeah, but maybe he's like trying to send a message or something. Dude, I don't know.
I don't know, dude.
It's like,
Really good message being sent then.
yeah, it's like a head scratcher. It's like, what is he? I don't get this guy, this Anders Sorensen character. He's not going to be here for much longer. But yeah, it's one of those things where you come on here, you do this post game show, and it's like I don't even know how I'm supposed to explain that.
At least Levchinov got 23-30.
Yeah, that's nice.
That
They've
is
been
nice.
playing the shit out of him.
Yeah.
Like I've seen some people on Twitter suggest that like they should send him back down to Rockford, not burn a year. Like he's gotten his taste of NHL action. Like it's time for him. I'm like, dude, they're playing him like they're playing him like he's the most important defenseman on the team. I don't think they're gonna send him back down. Like you don't play a kid 23 minutes that you're gonna send back down to the AHL, right?
Well, they're going to send him. I thought that the year was burned anyways because he's playing in Rockford.
I don't know.
I thought
I
the
don't
year.
even care. I don't even care about burning a year just because you don't want all these kids coming into the league at the exact or like finishing their ELCs at the same time anyway. You know, like you kind of want to stagger them a little bit anyway. I don't mind burning a year. It's not like he's not going to be ready in 2 years. You know, like he's already ready by the
Yeah.
looks of it.
Yeah.
You know?
I'm going to get an answer on that for tomorrow's post game because I don't think. Like, I think the year is burned either way. It might be like a year towards UFA status, but like, I think the year is already like, even if he spent the whole first year in Rock, like that's a year of your contract.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah,
It's not
you
like a
might be
junior
right.
player.
It's just with these fucking morons on Twitter. It's what they say. So I guess I just need to spend less time on Twitter and just like, because those people are. Justin just said, I swear these people on Twitter don't even actually watch the games, and I think that's probably true.
Yeah. Anything else? Maroon did fight at the end of the game. It was like halfway through the third.
Yeah, he also had a pretty good goal scoring opportunity.
He was buzzing today.
He was. He wanted it. And I wish they could have, done something for him or gotten him a goal or a point or something. But yeah, cool fight. That's pretty sick.
Tyler Tucker is a big boy.
Yeah, and he kind of fed him his lunch.
Mm-hmm. He landed an uppercut on him that he did not see coming at all.
Well, Tucker poked the bear a little bit because he grabbed like the collar, but then he was just like shoving his fist in Maroon's face, and I think that kind of pissed him off, and he started throwing some bombs. So cool fight. I think it was just 3-1 at that point. It might have been 2-1.
It was 3-1.
Okay. Well, still, I was hoping like this should fire up the boys, right? Like, is just announced his retirement, playing his last game in St. Louis. Like, I would have thought that had him fired up, but I don't know, dude. I like this game today. I didn't watch it and think to myself, man, it's like a lack of effort there. Like, I don't think these kids are not trying. It's just like it's not all there yet. They're too young, not enough talent, and then you go down and it just feels like an impossible, possible hill to climb. Chat's making it seem like Ov just scored.
No, he didn't. He didn't. They got it
The
wrong.
notification I just got was Mangiapane.
It is. I think it is Mangiapane, unless I'm wrong.
It's 6-3 in the second.
You know who else scored in that game?
Oh,
Seth Jones.
Seth Jones. Beast.
First as a Panther.
How do you do?
How do you do? High scoring hockey. Kings 6-1 up on the Hurricanes right now. Yeah. High scoring hockey. Everybody's like just playing loosey goosey today. Look, I know we were joking about them not winning again the whole rest of the season, but like you gotta win tomorrow, right? Like it's like it's what is it like the next gen game or what do they call it? Best day ever or something like that? Is that what I don't know. I don't know all like the games that they do, but
Yeah, dude, that shit doesn't move me, so I don't.
Well, no, I'm just saying that like it's the promotional event for the game is like trying to get the next generation of Hawks fan. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
it's called the best day ever game. So you can't get pumped on the best day ever game. You can't brand something as the best day ever and then get skunked by the Philadelphia Flyers, who are atrocious.
Whoever's being tasked with like the promotional stuff for this Blackhawks team this late in the year needs a fucking raise, because it's probably the hardest job in the world. It's like coal mining, being a mother, promoting the Blackhawks this far into the season. It's like you're gonna have black lung after promoting this fucking dog shit team.
But like they have to win tomorrow.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll call it a must win. We can call it a must win.
I would. Like after that, it's like, hold on, who you got next?
It's either that or we're handing some CHR bags out to some unhappy hockey fans.
Because then you got the Devils on. First of all, if you lose tomorrow, then you got 2 days for us for us, it's 2 podcasts that we have to do where we have to sit on this.
Goody.
An 8-game losing skate if you lose tomorrow. Then you got the Devils, the Golden Knights, the Club, the Avalanche, the Capitals before a back-to-back with the Penguins. Like, dude, you gotta win tomorrow.
There's no free wins in coming up in the schedule, that's for sure.
Yeah, you got to win the hockey game. Flyers are on the second half of a back-to-back too. They lost today to Dallas. They stink.
Hammer Hawks money line tomorrow. I'm not hammering Hawks money line for like 8 months, 9 months. That's so funny.
All right.
Anything else?
No, I got nothing, dude. You got anything?
Dude, that game was like, that was one of those where it was like, I would love to not do this post game right now. I'd love to just go on with my day and just like, that was a game I just wasted time watching. But nope, now I got to talk about it with my buddy for 30 minutes in front of a bunch of people. So we love it. We love it. And we're just joking. We love doing this. But yeah, you got to bring in some talent this offseason because this team is brutal.
Yeah.
Brutal.
Hopefully they, get it together for Pat Maroon here in the next little while. All right. If everybody, I did want to give a shout out because I talked about men's college hockey yesterday and I totally forgot that it is yesterday was the women's Frozen Four. So Layla Edwards had a hat trick for Wisconsin. They beat the University of Minnesota, and then Ohio State beat Cornell in that game too. And those 2 teams will be meeting tomorrow in the national championship game, 3 p.m. Central, for the 3rd straight year. Those 2 teams are playing each other. So that is
parity in women's collegiate hockey, huh?
Not a lot of parity. It is those 2. It is Wisconsin and Ohio State. That's why I'm wearing my Wisconsin hat right now. Shout out Wills Northwoods too. And everybody else is like a step or 2 behind.
I think 2 of the girls on the other team that I went to see the New Trier game, I think 2 of the girls from Barrington are committed to Wisconsin.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and they're like sisters, and they were like 6 foot tall.
Yeah, Wisconsin, like those 2 teams are like really, really good. So if you're looking for a good women's hockey game tomorrow instead of watching the Hawks play at the exact same time, or you could have both games going on tomorrow since they're right on the same time. Also I think I'm going to stream my first PWHL game on Tuesday.
Really?
Yeah. I think I'm going to do it.
How are you going to do that?
What do you mean? How am I going to do that?
Are you going to be
Tim Tebow is going to be sitting in the chair that I am currently sitting in, and
what day did you say?
Tuesday. I think I'm going to do it.
I'm going on that day.
Oh yeah, dude. You weren't invited anyways. So
we're just having fun out here.
Yes, so. Michigan State, Ohio State for Big Ten championship tonight too. That's going to be an awesome game.
I'm watching Michigan play Texas A&M right now.
In basketball. Yeah,
so it's a close one. 4-point game, about heading to halftime. It's good.
All right. I hope everybody's brackets are doing well. Enjoy all the college hockey the rest of the way. Justin and I will be back tomorrow. It will be, we did today's post game as close to immediately after the hockey game as I think we've ever done with a post game. Tomorrow will be a little later as well. So tomorrow's going to be a little later because Lee and I are going to be outside at the end of the game. We're probably going to leave like I don't know, a little bit into the third period, we're going to head down to the United Center with our drawstring bags and be handing them out and talking to people about Chicago Hockey Radio. So
You better hope they win tomorrow, because then nobody's watching the shit tomorrow if they lose and then we start
like an hour after. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I know. But I got to get back to the studio to do it after with Justin. So, but we'll be at the United Center. So come say hi outside the arena if you're there. All right. That is it. Subscribe to this YouTube channel. If you are a big fan of us and you like really, enjoy the shows and you enjoy what we're doing, tell friends of yours to subscribe to the YouTube channel. It really, really helps us out a lot. They don't need to particularly partake in the content. Maybe if they want to, they can give us a shot, but it's more, for us, like we're just trying to get the numbers up, and that allows us to do more cool things for you guys because we really enjoy doing this just as much as we hope you guys are enjoying watching. So tell your friends to subscribe, tell your sisters, your parents, it means a lot. Follow us on Instagram at Chicago Hockey Radio. Leave a 5-star rating and review. Hit the thumbs up button on this here video. And Justin and I will see everybody tomorrow. Peace out, everyone.